The Arizona Inn had not closed its doors since 1971, when the hotel first got air conditioning, until early March 2020, when concerns over the coronavirus had reality shifting almost hourly. On March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, we went around Tucson, trying our best to social distance, asking local businesses how they were adapting.
My personal mental state kind of changed when, I think just due to stress, I was kind of feeling like a little bit weird last night, and it sort of hit me. I was like, well, what if I did have it? Why am I putting my employees at risk? It just doesn't seem worth it anymore.
Ben Schneider made the decision to temporarily close Tall Boys that day at 3 p.m. By the time we got to our next stop, the reality of the situation had shifted again. Tucson's mayor, Regina Romero, announced a mandatory closure of all venues where groups of people congregate, starting that night at 8 p.m.
We've been anticipating shutting down and looking forward to it, in a sense, having every place mandatorily shut down in hopes that we can limit the duration of the shutdown.
This ended up being the last day you could get a drink at a bar or eat in a restaurant for at least 40 days. The realities and anxieties of suspending operations were different for every business.
We just moved to this new spot 2 months ago. I used every ounce of energy and resource I had to do that. It's been going so well. It was like complete 180 of energy.
Closing down a large music venue like the Rialto Theater is actually quite complicated.
When we have lots of shows, we'll have as many as just over 100 people that will take a paycheck. The highest percentage of people that work here part-time and all have other employment, but that other employment is being disrupted as well. I'm concerned about them. You can't just open your doors the next day and have touring artists there. Generally, the absolute minimum amount of time for that is 2 months. Just a tremendous amount of uncertainty, which means a much lower likelihood that robust touring will resume anytime soon.
I think everyone's really concerned and confused about what to do. What's the best way to be an employer at this point? Laying people off, letting them collect unemployment until we can open again. I am trying to save enough money to reopen when that time comes. But it is Tucson, and we're going to reopen in the dead of summer, which is pretty scary.
Well, our biggest fears are paying our bills and making sure our employees can pay their bills. We had been looking at alternatives like, having liquor pickup or liquor delivery. We're going to try to take care of our employees the best we can.
This is a big part of health and mental health and happiness for people. Staying connected seems very important. People right away were like, will you do online? It's not something we've done ever before. So I've just been slamming, trying to educate myself on how to, easily and accessibly do that.
We'll do it live! All right.
Good morning, Facebook. Happy Tuesday.
Floor Polish was not alone. The streets emptied around Tucson. Social distancing did not actually keep us apart. People found new ways to communicate, innovate, and occupy their time online, and it was something.
Oh my God, it's like a foot-long Sonoran hot dog in chalupa form. I'm gonna show you that.
So I am Hanah Klein. I have a daughter, Lois, she's 8. Her seeing me freaked out about something is probably my biggest fear. The funny thing about TikTok was she's been talking about it for a year. I was like, I'm too old for TikTok. I can't deal with this. It's been so fun. It's her getting exercise and getting really creative. Weird enough, this whole quarantine has brought us so much closer together.
We are Los Discos. Together combined, we are Los Discos. We are currently quarantined together, yeah, luckily. We got laid off Tuesday, and then the Wednesday after, we're like, well, it's time to get to it. Right now, we just started the process of making masks for people in our community. We just got our first batch out. I think we delivered probably around 50 masks. 60. Yeah, the response from the community has been amazing. Yeah.
We have created a detailed survey for musicians to basically apply for assistance.
People have reported over $90,000 in lost wages due to COVID-19 related cancellations. I launched, with the help of Katie Haverly and Hannah Levine, a Tucson Musicians Relief Fund on GoFundMe.
I'm going to talk to my friends in Birds and Arrows, and we're going to get them going on their first set of music.
We've been doing a partnership with Startup Tucson this week to give daily live performances at noon.
Hello, survivors. Welcome to the very first of hopefully very few quarantine cocktail videos.
I am the bar manager of Portal Cocktail. We opened, made it 3.5 weeks, and then the quarantine hit.
It's just taking lemons and making lemonade or margaritas or whatever.
If you live through this virus, we'll see you next week for another cocktail.
It's been amazing watching all the creative energy online, but there's still something a little bit sad and definitely surreal about being inside this time of year, especially when it's so nice out. I know we'll get through this, but I do miss everybody. Hope we see you soon.